First dad joke I ever heard that I got was my dad said to me, Scott, what do a cheap hotel and a pair of Levi's have in common? I don't know, Dad. No ballroom. Okay, I got it. And it's true. And Duluth Trading Company is capitalized on that in their marketing. They sell ballroom jeans, okay? It was a thing. But I can remember at the time that I was a kid and up through high school understanding that Levi's were the go-to work pant. What happened? Because let me tell you what, with all the range of choices and other people that are in the market and the other ways to think about workwear, Levi's just aren't it anymore, at least not for me. So what you're looking at here is a modern pair of Levi 501s that Kelly got at Goodwill. And I don't know if this is a fair representation of a test of their, vitality, of their toughness. Probably it's not. But obviously, between a little bit of heat and a little bit of sanding, you got nothing left. We've all worn pants to that point, right in the front of the thighs. And this didn't stand up perfectly, even though these key pants are the ones that I wear now. They're the double front logger dungarees. But the beauty of this is the double front, that behind that tattered front layer, you still got protection. And that was what I discovered when I moved back to Oregon, 1996, 94, and went to work back in the woods logging with my dad. The double front logger dungarees are the best work pant for rough work that you can buy. So, setting aside the fact that apparently Levi has caved into fashion, glancing off the fact that Carhartt did the same thing. I wore Carhartt for 25 or 30 years around here, and then one day they just weren't on the shelf anymore. And the Carhartts that are on the shelf now, occupying the space of these double front logger dungarees, have turned into stretchy mom pants. They're just not the same. And that offends me. So as I push through there, I'm going to be assuming that you know that I've landed on Key jeans as my work pant. That was a process. They replaced Carhartt because Carhartt replaced itself. It changed its emphasis. They sort of turned their back on guys like me. But I found Key jeans. They're great for several reasons that are going to come up over and over and over as I compare and contrast them to the other options that you have. And then let me just mention this. I didn't get every pair of jeans here that you guys have mentioned on the channel before. I didn't get Bailey's Wild Ass jeans, but I got quite a few jeans that I think you might have to know something about before you lay down the hard-earned cash. So first of all, Levi 501s, sorry, they're not work pants anymore, especially since I have enjoyed the convenience of a hammer loop and cargo pockets and double front dungarees, not to mention suspenders, right? I mean, bachelor buttons, that's a recurring theme for me, as you know. Levi's, they're decoration. Prison blues are good pants. And I've worn this pair. The denim is heavy, the stitching is great, the rivets are where they ought to be. Let me just mention this. Some pants, the belt loops are too wide for clicking in a snap on a striker, or if you're hanging something with a snap off your belt loops, it's got to be narrow enough you can get on it. Prison blue checks every box except this. Prison blue, pay attention, please. Your cargo pockets are just wrong. On the right leg, the deep one is too deep. I drop a pencil down there, I have to get a pair of pliers to reach down there and pull it out. If I put a pencil in this pocket, it drops out the first time I take a long step. So the proportion, the location of your cargo pant right leg pocket is wrong, and the left side is even worse. Now maybe I could put a cell phone in there for 15 minutes, but who wants to trust a cell phone to that? So prison blue, I love your fabric, I love your workmanship, I love everything about it. You're made in Oregon, for crying out loud, but will you please reconfigure your side pockets? Copy the ones on Key. Now there's one other thing. I don't know quite what it is about your hammer loop, and I probably shouldn't even be critical. I mean, the rivets are perfect, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a little too big. Maybe it's back to the thing that there's no chance that a wrench is going to stay in there. Maybe it's, I don't know. Something about the hammer loop makes me not trust it. But aside from that, the bachelor buttons, everything else is spot on. Adjust your program a little, will you please? Now, here, I bought a pair of prison blues that were single panel. And obviously, I mean, I'm giving up single panel, but these are a nice pant. They fit great. They're good summertime pants. But here is case in point. When you wear through the first panel, you're into your underwear or your hide. And so, I mean, this just, as good a pant as this is, minus the same problem on the side pockets. No hammer loop, but these are sort of a contract. I mean, these are not the same thing exactly. I don't know why we couldn't put a hammer loop on the same side as these pockets, but good pant, except you still missed it on those side pockets. Sorry. Okay, so here are the most recent Carhartts. I bought a pair, I've worn them a few times, and I'll say this, the little bit of stretch they put in there, and it's minimal, but it's there, increases the comfort. Just right up until the moment that you're thrashing through some brush or over a barbed wire fence or something, when your comfort depends on not having your hide cut or poked, you give up. Of course, life's trade-offs, right? But the stretchy thing that has kind of taken over denim, starting with for our wives years ago, and now intruding into the world of work, introduces what kind of comfort is most important to you? Comfort in movement or comfort in protecting your body from the environment you're working in? And the comfort of a consistent product for a consistent type of work for a consistent type of man, which to me ain't nothing. Sorry, Carhartt. And stretchy pants, okay, wear them to the beach, wear them to the county fair. I don't care, wear them if you want to wear them. But if you wear them out into the brush, you're going to be disappointed. Now, I don't know how the stretchy works. I don't know where the elastic comes from. I don't know if it's rubber or polyester, but I know this, stretchy pants degrade over time. Whatever it is that gives it the give and take, that makes it so comfy, is going to break down over time, whereas cotton, 100% cotton, is a natural fiber, and it is what it is right up until you wear it out. So, is there a place for stretchy? Sure there is, but not in a harsh work environment as far as I'm concerned. So here's another pair of pants. Fancy that. This is Duluth. This is gusseted in the crotch, more room, all of that. A very nice stout button that'll hold the top of the world together. A zipper, that's just fine. I think these are probably a little on the stretchy side, but they're not pretending anything else. Here's the problem with this pair of pants. These are carpenter pants. They sell them as carpenter pants, and they probably are carpenter pants. I wouldn't say they're concrete worker pants, and they put a hammer loop on there. But that is a hammer loop that you could pitch a dog through. I mean, yes, okay, great. But absolutely not. So, I mean, there are some pants, if you're a steel worker, you need a loop that's going to hold a spud wrench. Crescent wrench, I've got something here to represent that. Duluth, this is a comfortable pair of pants, but tighten up that hammer loop, will you? I mean, it's not a quick draw thing, it's a security thing. So if you're carrying a hammer on your leg, the last thing you want it to do is drop off onto somebody's hardwood floor. Doesn't make sense to have one that gappy. Oh, these are the Wrangler rigs. I'd heard a lot about these. Dustin Furch wears them. This is a good heavy denim. They're double front. Check that box. The pockets are pretty well proportioned. I haven't worn these to work yet, but that pocket on the right leg, and it's just one pocket over there. Okay, fair enough. That's just about right for a carpenter's pencil. It's not falling out. You can pull it out. On the left side, a little short, but there would be things so yeah, we'll give you a B+ or an A- on your side pocket placement. Here's an well, no bachelor buttons on the outside, but they put buttons for suspenders on the inside. Okay, discreet, as if suspenders needed to be discreet. The problem with that is, boys, you go into a porta potty and it's summertime and it's hot and you don't want to spend any time in there and you got a serious job to do, Or actually, let me get this right. In the wintertime, you don't want to go into the porta potty and have to take your coat off and pull your sweatshirt over your head in order to get your pants unbuttoned so that you can get to the inside of your pants or take the suspenders off your shoulders. With the bachelor buttons on the outside, I can slip those off in no time at all, get everything taken care of, stand back up, button them back up, and go back to work. So this is a good idea for the people who are a little self-conscious about wearing suspenders to begin with. It's sort of an easy entry to that improvement. And it enables you to wear a belt or suspenders, belt and suspenders if that's you, but I don't know, I don't see myself going there. They have a couple adaptations that are pretty good. They've reinforced the top of the hip pockets with some sort of Kevlar or something. Maybe it is Kevlar. That's a tough pocket. And then they did the same thing where everybody hangs their tape, right? Everybody hangs their tape right there. When you're wearing them, you can do it. And over time, you wear through the top of that pocket. So yeah, Wrangler, Riggs, pretty darn good. Wait a minute. No hammer loop at all. Oh, there it is on the right side. They put the hammer loop on the right side. I could learn to do that. That's a nice size hammer loop. It even almost holds a crescent wrench. So yeah, I would say Wrangler rigs are built for work, and you wouldn't be disappointed. I'm sticking with Key, but these are a solid pair of pants in my opinion. So wrapping this up, a lot of you have said, hey, what about Duluth fire hose, fire hose pants, canvas? And Kelly ordered some, but she ordered a relaxed fit. So this is sort of a softer kind of a fire hose fabric, not actually denim at all. I think maybe it's, I don't know if it's better, worse, or the same. But this is a good pair of pants. Yeah, they put the same gusset. I've worn fire hose that I think had double front panels. Great pant. I just like denim. Fire hose fabric, canvas is not denim. Which circles back to kind of where we started, the 501s. I've got a story. It was a year before I moved away from Wyoming, I think. I was guiding elk hunters, working for Carl Jones. He was an outfitter. Carl was a stud. And I was helping him pack 3 dudes into the thoroughfare district, it was called. It was off the southeast side of Yellowstone Park, I think. And so we packed 9 horses into a 6-horse trailer and 2 horses into the back of the 3/4-ton pickup. Horses and mules in the trailer, small mules, big horses. Left in the middle of the night, drove up the Shoshone River, the South Fork, to the trailhead, and went over something, believe it or not, that was called Deer Creek Pass. Well, I was wearing a pair of Levi's that had been given to me by Lyle Brand because his uncle, Hamp Brand, had passed away. And Hamp had some old Levi's, old. Like, I think it was probably, they were about as old as I was. And at the time, I was probably 32. But they hadn't been worn much, and they were heavier. And the stitching was a brighter color of orange. And man, I liked them. And I put those pants on, and I was cowboying up with a mare and 3 pack mules, and it was fantastic. And it rained on us. We got wet. And a couple of the dudes were big, fat guys, and Carl made them walk their horses downhill when we got over the backside of the pass, because riding a horse downhill is hard on it. We got into the camp. It was in there, like I say, it was 21 miles from the truck. It was a good ride. And I guess we probably gained 5,000 feet of elevation and down the other side, and it was fabulous. And we got into where the camp was, and there was a cook tent, and then there were spike tents, you know, little spike camp, teepee-type canvas tent that we would sleep in. And I was wet, and we ate, and we went to bed. And I climbed into my sleeping bag, but I took my wet clothes off, and I hung them over a branch that was propped up inside the tent with me. And went to sleep. And I slept the sleep of the dead. I was tired. And I woke up in the morning early. Carl wanted to get up and go glass for elk. And I realized it was probably about 15 degrees in that tent. And I reached over to grab my Levi's and put them on. And I learned 2 things. The hip pocket had ripped out on the trek in, and my wallet was gone. My wallet was gone. Now, maybe I had discovered that the night before. The stitching failed. Sorry, Levi's. The stitching failed, and I was out $50, which was a lot of money. But the bigger deal right then was that those wet Levi's were frozen like this. as stiff as a board. And I had to pry them open, shake the ice off, and put my shivering, bare, almost hairless legs into those stiff, cold, icy, frozen pants. It was an adventure. Every day hunting in Wyoming was an adventure. And ideally, every day you get up and pull on a pair of work pants, you're going to have some kind of an adventure. Or at least we can choose to look at it like that. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.